got my new cap, says hey y'all. Well, today we're back out on the porch. It's kind of a gloomy day. It's just kind of sprinkling on and off. Under my porch, it has a tin roof, so I hope that the sound of rain is not going to overshadow my voice, but we'll try it and give it a try. What I wanted to talk to y'all about is just kind of like some chit chat about my garden and just things that I wanted to share with y'all, okay? So a couple years ago, I bought some pepper plants from one of my local nurseries. I don't even remember the variety of the bell pepper that it was, but I had the best bell peppers. They were huge. They were as big as a softball. They were wonderful. I was so proud of my peppers. I sold peppers. I gave peppers away. I loved that variety. But when I would go back to the nursery and ask for that variety, they would always say, Parks Whoppers, or it's the same thing. It's the same thing. Well, it's not the same thing because I've planted them every year and since then, and I have not gotten that size of a bell pepper. But my garden this year, I had like 2 or 3 bell pepper plants, 2 or 3 Tabasco plants, 2 or 3 red Marconis. So when I would go out there and I would be picking the bell peppers and I would only see like 2 or 3 bell peppers on my pepper plants and they would be these small little pepper plants, I was so disappointed and I was just like, kind of like, what's even the point of, picking these half the time? I kind of had that attitude. But in the last month or so, those pepper plants have continued to produce. And I noticed when I would pick those peppers and I would get them in the house and I would chop them up, it was surprising to me how much, even those small peppers, when I would get them chopped up, how many they would produce, how much I would have with just a small amount of peppers. So that told me something. That got me to thinking, that got me convicted about something. Is, in life, I always tell my kids, God's not going to bless you with something until you're grateful and you're thankful for what He's given you so far. So today, I had gone out there and picked these peppers like the day before yesterday, and it made me think of that. And so, you preach to your kids, sometimes you need to be preaching to yourself. So anyways, I have a bowl of peppers here, and I'm going to show you. I'm talking like these peppers are just puny. If you saw that in the store, you'd be going, what are they trying to sell me? This is nothing. But I'm telling you, I've gotten this consistently over my summertime. And it may not have been a huge big bell pepper, but I got a lot of these. And a little bit of something's better than a whole lot of nothing. So that's what my message is to you, to just be thankful for what your garden puts out. There's been years that I've had great tomatoes, and next year maybe not so much. Some years I have great bell peppers, some years I don't. Some years my garlic are big, some years that's just gardening. And I just want to encourage you new gardeners that, you may have not had as wonderful crop. You see all these videos and everybody's got this bounty of vegetables and harvest. And, you may have just a few little things and you're thinking, well, what is the point? I'm not getting very much out of this. But a little bit can really add up. I've got some of my bell peppers in here. I've got some red Marconis that some are still green, some are turning red. This was my first year to plant these red Marconis, and I love these peppers. They have been so prolific, and they are an heirloom variety, so I can save the seeds, which I have, and I can plant these next year, which I was so glad about, because I like being able to do that. So I'm going to cut these up, and then I'm going to show you exactly how much of a harvest that I got once they're cut up, and I'll get back with y'all, okay? like the inside's cleaned out, the stem's cut away. I saved all that. That's going to go to my chicken. Nothing goes to waste at the chicken coop. So my chickens get some fresh green vegetables. So now, since I've all got them all just cut in half, I'm going to go through here and slice them up. Small slices. These smell so good. And they're small, but I'm telling you, they have a really good flavor. So after I slice them up like this, I'll go through the whole bowl, but I'll just show y'all. I slice them up, then I just kind of chop them up. I usually just do this in a bowl. I don't do this on like a cutting board or anything because I can just, sometimes I sit there and watch TV and do this. It's something I can do and I don't necessarily have to have a cutting board for it. Go faster on a cutting board, 2 or 3 little pieces at a time, but it goes just as fast this way, and then I can sit there and kind of relax. Even though today I'm doing it out on my porch. The rain really picked up. It's not just a little drizzle now, it's kind of coming down. So I hope y'all can even hear this video. Really happy that my peppers are even still producing. They kind of had a little stressful time when it got really hot down here in Texas. I mean, tomatoes and peppers like it hot, but there is going to be a point where, you know, no matter how much water you're giving them, it's going to be a little stressful, okay? Something that I didn't do that I probably should have, if I would have mulched around the roots a little bit, that might have helped lower the temperature of my containers, but I didn't get around to doing that. It was kind of a busy time period, and it was hot, and my lupus and I do not do well in the heat. So, now that the temperatures are starting to cool off, it's getting a nicer temperatures, they're perking back up and they're looking really good, and they are still producing. Not my tomatoes, but my pepper plants are still producing. Alright, so let me kind of go through this bowl and let me get these all sliced up and chopped up, okay? And I'll get back with y'all. Alright, so oh my gosh, that took a while. Y'all have no idea. I've been at this a while. So that just goes to show you just a few peppers can produce a lot of chopped up peppers. So once I fill these bags up, I put 1 or 2 servings in each bag. And then I seal it up, try to get all the air out of it. And I take these little snack bags and I place them in a freezer bag that I put the contents and the date on here. And so these save my bell peppers, my onions, my celery, my carrots, anything that I'm trying to save in my freezer. This is what I do. And so this makes good small amounts of your chopped up vegetables so they don't all freeze like a big brick that you can't use, or it's not, you know, not feasible to use that many onions in a setting or in a, you know, a recipe. So this makes it really handy that you can pull out small amounts that you would use for cooking, okay? Now, of course, there's times, not very many times, but there are times that I have to buy a fresh onion so that it's crisp in a recipe that's not cooked, or a bell pepper or such. But the way I do this, and I say this, I probably have not bought onions or bell peppers in several years, 5, 6, maybe more years. This is how I do it. And this year, considering that I did all my seedlings myself from seed, these peppers are even more economical because I didn't even pay for the pepper plants, even though pepper plants are pretty cheap. So, you know, I'm saving a lot of money. Even though peppers, when you're buying them in the store, are not very expensive. Onions are not very expensive. But I tell you, this is also a convenience thing, because when I'm ready to cook, like I cooked chicken spaghetti last night, I used some of my canned chicken, I used some onions, some bell pepper, sauteed that in some olive oil, added a can of chopped tomatoes, and some cheese, and a soup, a chicken noodle soup. I'm not talking chicken noodles, a cream of chicken soup, and I had my chicken spaghetti in a very short amount of time. Now, if I'd had to, you know, cook a chicken, debone a chicken, chop an onion, chop a pepper, you know, cook the spaghetti, all that kind of stuff, it would have been a lot longer time period of getting that meal to the table. But I was able to create that meal in less than 30 minutes. It was so convenient. So sometimes doing these things, it does take time, but it also is a convenience factor down the road, okay? So that, you know, keep that in mind, that it does take time to do these, but it does save you time and energy down the road. Let me get the last of these peppers in these bags, and then we'll be done with this. Okay. All right, so in here I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bags. This one's only about halfway full, so that's like 10 servings of bell peppers. And then I have, you know, several of these bags already in my freezer. So, you know, if you use bell peppers in your cooking 1 or 2 times during the week, you will have, it will not take long for you to get the amount of bell peppers that you need to last you a whole year till your peppers start producing next year. Just about the time when my peppers and my onions are coming along, that's about the time that I'm kind of starting to run low on my chopped onions and bell peppers in my freezer. So it can be done with just a couple of plants. It's amazing how much they can produce for you and your family. So those are just some quick tips and gardening ideas and preserving ideas that I wanted to share with y'all here from the Chicken Coop. Thanks for watching, and if you like this video, please like and subscribe and share it with your friends. Thank y'all. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.